Copyright Rights Act, Chapter 26.05, to administer and to protect rights granted to authors, composers, and publishers of music. You, the composers and the publishers, right? So the same act makes it an offense for anyone to publicly exploit musical works without your authority. Saka mutemo unoti imhosva kutsenura mumanzi, kuridza mumanzi paruzhinji. If we see music being played by Delampuli, I'm glad there's my brother is an artist, and also I used to visit their premises, licensing them, Mr. Andrea Doe. Right. So we are saying that if Delampuli at Cross Data plays music, they need to comply with the provisions of the Copyright and Neighboring Rights Act. If GVZ plays music, they need to comply by the provisions of the Copyright and Neighboring Rights Act, so that they get the authority or the permission to play music publicly, of course, for a certain period of time. So how do we license? We do have what we call the licensing procedure. But before the licensing procedure, let me say that we do have license inspectors across the 10 provinces of our country, Zimbabwe. So we do have an office in Harare, that is the head office. We do have inspectors there who covers the Harare Metropolitan Province. We also have an office in Bulawayo that covers the 3 provinces, that is the Mad South, Mad North, and Bulawayo Metropolitan Province. And we also have an office in Manicaland, that is Mtare, that services or that covers the Manicaland Province. We also have other inspectors or our representatives in Masvingo, who also cover the Masvingo Province. We also have inspectors in Mash Central, Mash West, and Mash East, who services those particular areas, visiting the potential licensees, those who play music in bars, in shops, in hotels, in churches. I like the fact that Mr. Gowda explained that if you play music in a church, if you sing in a church, sing somebody's song, the song that somebody left in mind coming up with that particular song, it's his property for life. Now, if you take it and worship the Lord without seeking permission from the Copyright Board, usina kupiwa mvumo na mysticism wangenda vanguwe, uinfringe the copyright, and you are worshiping God using stolen property because you need to visit Him, right? So we would want to find out. I'm not just Aniskuta Oranga. We do have an Act of Parliament with us. I'm going only to go through only 3 sections. I'm glad the police are here with us. No law enforcement agency are not batsira with the licensing. Right. Section 9 of the Copyright and Neighboring Rights Act says that copyright is a real right which subsists in a work by virtue of this act and which entitles its owner exclusively to do in Zimbabwe and authorize others to do in Zimbabwe the things which this act designates in relation to that work. Saka, copyright is a real right that subsists by the virtue of this act, which entitles you, the owner, exclusively. No any other person other than you have got those rights to authorize the exploitation of your musical works publicly. So if somebody plays music publicly, maybe they decided to host a birthday party, maybe they decided to hold a wedding, they need authorization from the Copyright Board. So the Zimbabwe Music Rights acts as a bridge between the rights holder, who is the artist or the copyright holder, and the music user. So by acquiring or by paying for a single license with the Zimbabwe Music Rights, you now have permission to play any music of your choice publicly. So without that license, you are infringing the copyright. Okay? Right. And the same license gives you permission to play any songs that belongs to other regional organizations. Because here in Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe Music Rights, if we cross the border to Zambia, there's ZAMCOPS. Go to Botswana, there's Osbots. Malawi, there's Kosoma. UK, there's PRIS. America, there's ASCAP. So we are one and the same. Because Zimbabwe signed a treaty or ratified a treaty that is called Berne Convention, which is a treaty that provides for the equal treatment of each and every other worldwide. Right? So, and more so, us as a collective management organization, we also signed a reciprocal agreement to say if Zambian music gets played in Zimbabwe, we're going to collect their royalties and send to Zambia. If your musical works are played in Zambia, they're going to collect on our behalf and send the royalties here for the benefit of the authors and composers in Zimbabwe. So I'm going to talk about the licensing procedures. I've mentioned about our inspectors who actually moves around the 10 provinces of our country. So what happens is, if we visit the licensees or the potential licensees, those who play music publicly, we educate them about the need to comply with the provisions of the copyright law, so that they also respect the rights granted to the authors and composers of music as provided for in the Copyright Enabling Rights Act. If we educate them, we then issue an invoice and a notice at the same time. So those documents are valid for a period of 7 days as prescribed in the copyright law. So if that period expires without compliance, that's when we approach the police stations for joint operation, bringing to book the violators of the copyright law. Right? So we expect if we issue or if we educate the licensees, they're supposed to comply within a period of 7 days. If they comply, there won't be any problem. But if they don't, we now request for the services of the police so that they assist us in bringing to book violators of the copyright law. We then approach the courts. Right? Okay. What do we use to determine the license fees payable by the music users? We do have a licensing tariff that is reviewed on a yearly basis. So each and every year we review the tariffs and send them to our parent ministry, that is the Ministry of Justice, for approval. So we do have a tariff for a bar. Those are minimum licensing fees. So we do have a tariff for a bar, a tariff for a boutique, a tariff for a hotel, a tariff for a grinding mill. They decide to play music after grinding their maize. We license them as well. So each and every music user, I'm glad also we do have other music users, the police, they do have their license band. The police band, we do license them if they play music entertaining the general public and they do comply. We also have the broadcasting station, the ZBC. We license them. But for broadcasting stations, we now use we use the percentage route in determining the license fees payable by each and every broadcaster. If we agree to say maybe 10% of their total revenue that goes towards the copyright music license, that will be their licensing fees. So these license fees, they do fluctuate. If they get more money, it means more money that comes to us. If they get maybe lesser collections, if they make few dollars during or the month, they also pay 10% of whatever they get. Let me go through the last sections, that is section 17 and section 51 of the copyright law. Section 17 states that Subject to this act, copyright in literal or musical work shall vest in the owner the exclusive right to do or to authorize the doing of any of the following things here in Zimbabwe. So, A, reproducing the work. It means only the author, only the composer, even when it's when music, you are the one who's supposed to reproduce your work. Without authority from you, that particular person will be infringing the copyright law. Akopa music yako. Kureproduce atokuziva nini? Ndizo. Pana singaziwe reproduction. Reproduction is making similar copies, similar to the original, right? Ndofarira boso wangu wanozotaura danzi, we are all products of reproduction. Right? Ndosaka mjiona inini wa mwana takafana na baba wangu amekopi yakagadzirwa through that reproduction. So if you make more copies, toti andrea duwaita music yake, mumwe muna akatora music iyoyo akakopa akagadzira macopies akawanda, that is the reproduction that we are talking about. Saka munhu anofana kuwana mvumo kuna andrea duwe, anofana kuwana mvumo kuna makanika kuti aite reproduce. Pasina mvumo iyoyo, that is copyright infringement. Okay? Number two, publishing the work. Maybe wakadra album rap. You have your album, you're preparing for the launch, Batarama venue, you paid even those who assisted you in recording your album, right? Then somebody else just steals copies of your songs and publish without your permission. That is copyright infringement, right? Every publisher is supposed to, every person who publishes is supposed to get permission from the copyright owner. Importing the work into Zimbabwe or exporting it from Zimbabwe. So, if you buy or you acquire, you take many copies that belongs to the artist, then cross the border, selling the bulk without permission of the copyright holder, you will be infringing the copyright. Or if you cross border to South Africa, then get more South African music, then come and sell it in Zimbabwe without permission from the copyright owner, you'll be infringing the copyright. Performing the work in public, that is the one that we do. It means that anyone who intends to play music publicly, that's supposed to get authority from the copyright owner. Without that license, you'll be infringing the copyright. That is why we are saying there's need for a copyright music license. Put the music in public. So we license all the music users. Kujambes no speaker. Wana mysticism wakinda vanwe. Victoria Falls no speaker. Manika Lake no speaker. Collecting on behalf of the authors and composers of music. Saka presentation ya perera pano. I know kana mwenye mfunzo, please write down to be able to respond. Over to you, Mr. Gago.